Welcome back. As you know, we talk a lot about beauty on this show, and the beauty industry has come a long way in recent years when it comes to having diverse options for people of all ethnicities. But while some brands have made meaningful changes, others are still trying to catch up. So we wanted to hear from our experts about their thoughts on the progress of inclusive beauty today, and we want to talk about going beyond just a marketing tactic. I know you all have lots to say. Mo, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, so I agree. Yes, brands have definitely made strides, but I think what they really need to understand that women of color come in a variety of shades.
Yeah.
And I follow this influencer. Her name is Gloria, and she got a PR package. So again, PR package from the brand Essence, is the brand of foundations and concealers. And they had names such as mahogany, espresso, those types of names. So when you think of that, you think darker, shades, right?
Dark chocolate.
I believe the mahogany and the espresso were around these hues here.
Keisha's skin tone.
You know what I mean? Or even like around my skin tone. And that's just not inclusive, right? And that's where you need to include various shades of skin tones, because they're all beautiful and they all have needs as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember Tracy P mentioning all of the events she gets invited to, and she's sitting there during presentations and they literally don't have a color that matches her complexion. Like, I don't understand how the brands aren't more embarrassed about that.
Right.
And you're inviting folks with dark skin to your home to tell them about your product, and you don't have one for them. We've got a way to go for sure. I want to talk to you, Keisha, a little bit about black hair products, because black women for sure have been the ones spending tons and tons of money on black hair brands. And recently that started to backfire a little bit.
Right. So I think historically we've always spent more money on, beauty and self-care and things like that. We went from a generation that we really didn't have a lot of knowledge behind curly hair or textured hair, and we didn't have the right products. To fast forward to now, it's like too many products, too many brands trying to do the whole inclusive thing, but it's really more of a marketing gimmick. On top of that, of brands just not doing it right and not giving us enough information or education attached to the brand. So we're still kind of at that standstill. Like, things have definitely progressed. We have more options. There is more accessible information out there, but when it comes to kind of honing in, I think a lot of brands, it's one or the other. They're really trying to make progress, or they're doing the whole, inclusivity thing just to kind of for shelf space.
It's an interesting thing that's happening now as black beauty and inclusive beauty becomes more mainstream. There are a lot of black beauty brands that are trying to scale up.
Absolutely.
And when they scale up, they want to go beyond just blacks as a market. But when that happens, when products that have been traditionally only used by us, like Miel Oil, Shea Moisture, these companies often get bought out by bigger conglomerates. And when they get bought out by the bigger conglomerates, sometimes the quality of the product is not so good for our hair anymore. The advertising excludes us, and the product becomes more expensive, less effective, and definitely not marketed to us.
And not accessible, right?
And not accessible.
Because now it's all sold out. Right?
It's all sold out. Miel Oil.
Right, exactly.
Can't get it anymore. It's gone. They have an ad with all white women in it. And those were hair products that we were personally supporting from the jump, right?
And more catered to, textured and black women.
Candace, we have a little bit of time left. Any thoughts on this? Are brands doing okay? Do they have a lot of work to do?
There's still a lot of work to do, okay? We have progressed, as mentioned already, but I remember way back a couple of years ago, actually, when Fenty Beauty came out, oh my gosh, that was amazing, because they opened up a lot of more shades for people. People can feel like, okay, if they go in, they want to get a new foundation or concealer, they're going to find their shade there, or at least have a better chance to. And although, yes, we have that, now it's setting the standard for other brands to come up.
Absolutely. And I mean, there were the brands that were around before that, the fashion fair that our mothers were wearing, and they were doing a good job, but they just didn't have the push that you're seeing now. So, it's not to jump on all of them. Some brands are definitely doing what they should be doing, but more work could be done. Thank you so much, ladies.